Morning, Greg Pemberton here with IEC. Today I'm going to talk about the TripSaver 2, and we'll get into a discussion about several features on it, the LCD screen, some troubleshooting that goes along with the TripSaver 2. Here's a normal screen of what the LCD screen will look like. You'll have a closed or open on the vacuum interrupter status. The mode will change from auto to NR, which is your non-reclose. Also, there's a overload, which is the X there to the left symbol, and then a service soon means your contact wear is below 10%. This screen is some optional screens that you can put in your settings. You can have your load, which is showing 3 amps, your fault magnitude, which is measured in amperes if it is below 1,000 amps. It's kiloamps if it's above that. On your ops counter, it tells you how many operations it's dropped open. Temperature is measured in Celsius. Your life is your contact wear on the device. And then you have your sectionalized mode, which is counts the circuits before it drops open. So this one is set to 2. Then you have your software version, which gives you the newest your version of the TripSaver and where you're at. Here's some additional screens that are optional as well. There's up to 24 of them, like I said. You have several options of screen displays that you can set up. It's just whatever you decide to do. On the non-reclosed function, there at the top left, you can see that the indicator needs to be aligned, and the show on the LCD screen that's still closed, but it's in non-reclosed. Non-reclosed basically is your one-shot hotline tag, however you call it. It's your setting. You can set up as definite time, set up as curve, but it'll basically see a fault. It'll drop open one time and not reclose. On the lever there at the bottom, when it's down, it's in the non-reclosed position. When it's up, it's in the auto. Just remember that's on a spring, so it's not that hard to move up and down. So just remember that when you're placing a non-reclosed and back to auto. On your local manual open, the operation counter is 6, your time window is 40, which also displays on the LCD screen, and I'll go over how that works on the next slide. So here's your first operations down, your second one's up, third one down, your fourth one will be up, down for fifth, and then up for your sixth. So you have to do that in a 40-second period to have your local manual open to break the low current on the device. So here it'll show your local manual open is canceled. If you flip that lever down, you can cancel it anytime. There's a 10-second fixed window for the cancellation. So if you don't do it in 10 seconds, it's going to move on to the next stage, which it'll say walk away. So walk away will have actually 20 seconds fixed in the device, and then it will actually drop open for you to be able to break low current without using the low break tool. Some other message you'll get is your local board, which will show up for 3 minutes. Basically, doesn't have enough charge to TripSaver, reclose your capacitor to trip the vacuum interrupter. Then also, you'll get all these X's, and that's whenever you flip the mode selector 10 times in a 6-minute period. It's just saying it's disabled, so don't do that. You don't have the option of local manual open. So hopefully everybody knows how to use their low break tool to bypass the reclosure if that doesn't have the local manual open on the device. Just follow these pictures and it'll show you how to basically bypass the TripSaver. Just remember, ice is not your friend, so the local manual open may not open. If it is icy, you would have to use the low break tool to do that. On the Service Now screen, the exclamation mark means that it's time for S&C to test it. There's something internally wrong with it, and you need to get that down as soon as possible and bypass so you can get it to S&C. On the TripSaver 2, if you set something via SCADA, say non-reclose, it'll have an RNR message. And if it does drop open on its next manual closing, it will operate in an auto mode if the lever is in the up position for a period of 5 minutes after re-energizing. and then it will revert back to whatever setting it was on. So if it was on RNR via SCADA, it's going to revert back to that. So make sure you're aware of what your setting was before it dropped open when it's in the remote position. On the TripSaver 2, there's a sleep state, and if it's not enough load to be above your threshold for your device that you have, and you can read this paragraph, but basically your screen won't stay on. What that affects is actually whenever it has a fault current situation above the threshold, the sleep state will have a minimum, not much, but a delay on response to your fault current operation. On this picture right here to the right, basically this is showing how you can, if the reclosure does stay in an open position and locks open, you can close it by putting a battery to it for 5 to 7 seconds and then 25 more seconds to keep it reset, relatched, and you can basically put it back in operation. But make sure you have a good battery, because if your battery is too low, it will not do it. It might take longer than 5 to 7 seconds and 25 seconds. But just refer to your manual that S&C provides for you. So one of the biggest complaints we hear about is getting the device actually into the cutout from the ground. So they recommend 45-degree angle, 6 to 10 feet back with a long stick from the ground. Not sure if that helps or not, but that's what they recommend. And also make sure you refer to your owner's manual on a lot of this stuff. They have some good videos on the S&C website that will help you, guide you through the programming, and also some troubleshooting, just as much as I've provided here. So hope this helps. Thanks.